So,
Yep.
thank you everyone who chimed in. We of course appreciate your contribution to the game. Hopefully, we don't get your characters totally murdered.
Yes.
No promises.
Now, we're ready to set up our first game in February.
Yes, we are.
You can see here the legacy deck. I have taken the cards that we need. Let's find out what the scenario is. Perimeter report. If you have not opened 66, scratch the box below. But we have. Destroy this card after resolving it.
This is the fun part about Pandemic Legacy. Oh, Adam's already saying that he's going to be the betrayer. He's going to be the murderer.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe we should get out ahead of that and just get rid of him. All right. Journal entry. Hollow Men are expanding their raids now that our leaders and soldiers have disappeared. Our supply routes, already abandoned, are unsafe. The Hollow Men are working their way into South America, likely looking for one of the labs working on a cure. They're also hitting our supply centers, which means building new ones. We need to find a way to fortify these centers so they can resist their attacks. And then from the archives. So that is our journal.
Okay.
That's the journal that we, the survivors, and newly elected leaders have been keeping while we look for the leaders who previously were leading and have abandoned us. That's sort of the meta plot. So from the archives, this is about 30 years in the past. April 24, year 40. Reports from the frontier havens. Hollow Men have breached them with the help of local population who still distrust us. Sending security... That's actually in the text. Sending security patrols, but it might be too late. Not sure how we will function without a full network of havens. Nearing the end of our projected timetable with no cure in sight. We're going to have to start to dilute our supplies or abandon supply routes. Keep papers like this in the reserve. Also, there's a scribble of a signature that I can't quite make out.
All right.
Montgomery?
So, into the reserve.
Die.
Yeah, he'd be dead by then.
Yeah. Could be any of our other characters.
Keep drawing. Draw and read the other side of this card. New priorities. Destroy the following objective. Recon North America.
All right.
New objectives follow. We will still need to complete 2 objectives. Remember to place supply cubes in the stockpile as shown on the projection calendar on the board. So we only placed 33 out of our 36 supply cubes this game. Also, as you complete months, you can cross them off the projected supplies calendar on the board to help you keep track of where you are in the campaign. So we can actually do that. And just be careful not to touch it for the next like half hour.
Yep.
Okay, so that is new priorities.
Alrighty then.
And then we have 2 new objectives. Objective 1, recon 1 unknown region.
All right.
And objective 2, connect 2 new cities to the grid.
All right, and we have to do 2 out of the 3.
We have to do 2 out of the 3, and this one is mandatory. So
Yes.
we have to build 3 new supply centers, and either recon 1 unknown region, in this case probably South America because it's the most lenient, or connect 2 new cities to the grid. I will also point out that connecting new cities to the grid increases the number of production units we get to spend at the end of the game.
That's nice.
So just to...
It also increases the number of things that we have to
take care of. This is true. Absolutely true. But...
Yes.
And it becomes harder
That's worth
because
pointing
we don't have charter flights.
and then finally, turning point.
I was just moving these 3 away.
Give us the tools
Using
and we will
33 out of
finish
36.
the job. If you have lost 4 games in a row, scratch this box. So this is probably the sort of Team Bravo oh shit button card.
Yep.
So at the end of any game, if we have lost 4 games in a row, or if there is at least 1 city with 0 population, we have things to do.
Okay. Good to know.
And that's it for the Legacy deck. So now we supply the grid,
All
keeping in mind that none of these cities are actually on the grid.
Oh yeah, no worries. When you're here, we're patient people for the most part.
All right.
All right. So what do we got?
I'm thinking a distribution similar to last time.
Yep.
So only 1 in each of the havens.
I think let's do first of all 1 everywhere. All right.
Right. And then now, we can stock up. So, let's go 2 in every non-haven. Um, 3 in every city with population 2.
Yeah.
What's Chicago at?
Also
2.
Chicago. Yeah.
And then go from there. So we've got 6 left to distribute as we see fit.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to put a second on the havens just so that we have some flexibility? Because that's where we're going to start,
Yeah.
obviously.
I think having a second on the havens would probably be good.
Will, you start here in Montgomery?
Yep.
Which means I'm in
Well,
Providence.
we can technically. Player thing. Technically, we could change.
Yeah, if we change.
We could change characters, but I'm a fan of.
Yes.
I'm just would either of the. I don't know where the other character is, but build supply center. Nah.
I mean, it is useful, but also because you have to spend 2 supply cubes to do it, I'm kind of reluctant.
Right. What was the other one? The radio.
The
operative?
radio operator is whenever you do the transfer supplies free action, which we have yet to perform in any game. You may give or take supply cubes from a player in any location. Which, if we had that boost, we would probably actually use it.
Right.
I think just the fact that the 2 of us are already upgraded. The only one that really
Which is me, and I've been of use.
You've been very much of use.
For. Do we want to put 3 onto the havens, and that way we just pick them up?
I mean, it's a free
And
action,
have it
but
on.
then it's sort of a question of why bother putting it there at all. Oh, so we could respond to the initial infection.
Yeah.
But if
The-
they're
the
on
tr-
the havens, then they're not helping cities survive the initial infection.
Right. Which, I mean, we can't stop all of the
True.
ones.
But,
I mean, if somewhere draws 3, then just
Yeah.
rip.
okay, so here's the thing. Looking at the objectives that we have and what we're going to want to accomplish, I'm leaning towards exploring, reconning South America.
I think that's a good idea.
Especially since that's sort of a...
Any 4 yellow
Well,
cards.
actually, technically it's all permanent fixture, but I think we should recon South America.
Okay.
Which means I would suggest putting at least 1 more cube on Sao Paulo, because if we have to be there to build stuff and it ends
That's
up with
true.
plague cubes, that's going to suck.
Yeah, definitely Sao Paulo, because that's also the only location to get into
Mhm.
South America.
Exactly.
All right.
So
Do we want to put it on 2 at a? Do we want to put it on Lagos and Cairo, since those are the other recon locations? Keep our options open.
that's not a bad idea.
It's actually, I think, probably a pretty smart idea.
All right, I like this.
Yeah, I think it's good.
And then, do we feel for any reason like we desperately need to put cubes from the havens onto Washington and Istanbul to protect them? Because as it stands, Washington and Istanbul have a possibility of having an incident during the initial infection.
So I think that
And
Washington,
Tripoli.
And Tripoli.
I think Washington would be the more important one of them, just because it is like the one connecting point.
Should
between,
Go
Chicago and the
to
rest.
one haven.
1 per haven and just do 3 everywhere else? I think that makes sense to me.
Well, you start with cubes on wherever
You start with cubes wherever you want. One of the things that we were one of the reasons we thought it would be good to put cubes on the havens is because that gives you the sort of flexibility to pick them up, which is a free action, and move them around the map to anywhere that it's necessary. Especially as we get on towards the later stages of the game where we run low on supply cubes during the initial supply phase, we will probably start to retool that strategy. But for now, when we kind of have some security, we're thinking responsiveness is a useful feature.
These 3 aren't removed from the game. They're just
Correct.
not
They're just
the
still in
initial
a stockpile.
Well, one's on.
well, one's been removed from the game.
What?
I think it's over there.
I see it.
By the mic.
So what do we think about leaving all the havens at 1 and all of the non-havens at 3?
I think that that's smart. Yes. Okay. I like that idea.
Okay, cool. So now we've supplied the grid. We infect the grid.
Mm-hmm.
Would anybody care to cut this deck before I draw cards?
Sure.
Right. London. Jacksonville.
are put into the reserve,
London.
not the stockpile. Is what?
Yeah.
Really?
What's it
Interesting.
say on the? On like specifically the February
Set up the
scenario?
board. What's the play cubes? Hang on. Put as many. Oh shit! You're right.
Yeah.
Put any extra supply cubes into the reserve out of play. Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
those
Good.
are just
Good
put
looking
here.
out.
Yeah, good catch.
Yeah,
Thanks
those
for
are
that.
just put. They're not in play at all. So London,
Wouldn't want
Yeah.
to make this easy on us.
Jacksonville, Tripoli, Istanbul.
Yeah.
That's that one. 2 for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jacksonville getting screwed
So,
again?
To Jacksonville. I swear to God, the
To
NFL refs are
London.
ruining us.
New York,
Friggin' friggin' New
Tripoli.
England's friggin' bribing them.
Cairo,
Did you shuffle this?
Istanbul. Yeah. You
Okay.
saw me shuffle it.
I
and you
know,
also
but
cut.
but it's just like,
I mean, to be fair, there's also a more limited
yeah,
deck.
it just feels like.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Careful.
Hey! Hey! Jacksonville's got the highest murder rate in Florida.
That's
for a
all the
reason.
more reason to get rid of it.
You're saying that as a reason to keep it?
I'm saying that as a reason of don't mess around with Jacksonville.
So we have 4 funded events.
If Jacksonville's gonna
I
die, it's
think-
gonna kill itself.
It's going to take someone with it. There was a player who tried to climb into the stands after one of the games, trying to go after one of the fans. Ooh, boy!
All right,
Glad
so
he didn't make it up there.
for our 4 rationed events, I'm leaning towards
See the
One Quiet
murdering
Night,
cubes.
Resilient Population, Airlift, and Team Bravo. I could be convinced to take out Airlift in favor of Extended Forecast. Both are useful, but
I think with the. Oh man, because
I think if we're going to get rid of anything, it's going to be Airlift. Because the rest of them are so important.
My thought is actually, I've always been a fan of Forecast over One Quiet Night. If I'm choosing between the two of them, I am always going for Forecast.
I like both
but-
of them. I think Airlift.
Because Forecast is objective. Well, if you don't get the like nothing happens.
I
This
mean,
turn,
yeah, the
but you get
nothing
the
happens
plan.
this turn just buys you an entire turn.
Buys you an entire turn, but the Forecast lets you put them in an order that will help you, and then also lets you know what's going on for the next 3 turns after that.
Sure, I mean, they're both good. I just think Airlift is less useful than One Quiet Night. I think One Quiet Night is an incredibly powerful card.
I think it's powerful. I just don't think it's as powerful as my thought is always this: is that, and then choosing what to replace with that.
Will, what you thinking?
I don't see as much use in Airlift. Now, obviously, it's a problem if we're all over here, and
Right.
there's a problem here.
But we also have you, which means as long as we keep our pawns relatively spread out,
yeah.
Yeah,
we
And
have
I can-
a fair amount of freedom.
As far as Team Bravo, and this is
Yeah.
very muted compared to Team Bravo, but if I have the card, I can drop
yes,
the supply cube anywhere.
right.
true. Yeah, no, I could see taking out Airlift. I can be convinced of that.
So what is this whole search scratch off one box on a city card? in
So
your hand?
one of the city cards, you guys didn't look at these actually, so
Nope.
it's worth telling. One of the city cards that we added, one of the 2 Chicago city cards that was added to the deck, has a silver scratch off thing on it.
Ooh, fancy.
So we can search Chicago for something. I don't know what that something is.
All right.
But we're searching Chicago.
I'm
Also,
hoping that it's something
Now,
useful.
point out we should probably put these in.
well, that's after we
Okay.
we each get cards.
Yeah. We're gonna just deal ourselves an epidemic card to start the game.
That would be fun.
Yeah, funny is a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So scratchers are
Yeah, no,
fun.
legacy, like the legacy aspects of this game, the scratchers and sort of the destroying cards and stuff. It's so much fun.
You should also
And
grab a
just being
coin
able
from
to
the.
permanently.
You should grab a coin from the vacation fund behind you, so,
Sure.
so that we have a coin to scratch things off with.
I'm trying to think about plan of attack here.
Well, let's see what we got first. So,
Yeah, because if it just so happens one character gets 4 yellow cards, that might be.
With 3 cards.
That would be super impressive.
That would be extremely impressive.
Well, I didn't. I can tell you that. You got close.
I got 2 yellows.
We got Lagos, New York, and a Produce Supplies.
I got Jacksonville, Lagos, and Ration Defense.
I got
Or,
Produce Supplies,
Extended
Cairo, and
Forecast.
London.
All right. Not a bad starting
Yeah,
point.
not a bad start, yeah.
Yeah, with season 2, it seems like it would be tough just because you've actually got the sort of like map reveal
Yeah.
component. Whereas with season 1, you could just kind of ignore some of the numbers that were on. Yeah.
Yeah.
With season 1, you can just ignore the numbers that were on the board and treat it as though it were the start of the game.
I think the only way to make season 2 replayable would be to make it a digital board.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like put this into a digital format, then you can have it actually be
Although then
replayable.
again, actually, now that I think about it, you could just ignore that.
Yeah, but how? Like you're gonna remember what the thing is. Like, I'm saying, like if you make it replayable, as in
and
replay the
yeah.
entire game.
Yeah, and then you'd have to like
Yeah.
mark through the supply lines somehow. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Nice.
So we dealt our cards. We got to add these to the deck.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we need to put them in. Damn it! Thought we were gonna forget.
Yeah, you want to talk about making the game easier? All right. Nice. Cheaty McCheaterson. And actually, for the people who've joined since the start of the stream, do we want to talk about who we're playing? We talked about our new characters,
Yep.
but we haven't talked about our old characters.
Back to
True. The lines would be a little bit difficult.
Caleb Garrick, the administrator.
Yeah.
So I move people around, and I also have the supplier bonus technique. So you drop a thing on a thing.
Chris Arkin. She can pretty much farm stuff, get some more food or supplies, and put them in. And she now has a courier, which allows her to pretty much
Kick ass.
kick ass and bring food to and supplies to places next door. It's fun.
And I am Vix.
Mm-hmm.
Just Vix.
Just fix.
Vix is the instructor. Once on your turn, as an action, give any one player card to a player at your location. So they are very researcher-esque, good at sharing information and moving us in the direction of a cure. Or rather, in the direction of victory,
Victory!
which is kind of just extended supply lines.
Mm-hmm.
So, things that we have to do, build new supply centers.
Yep.
I think that absolutely one of our supply centers should be in Sao Paulo.
Yep, I've already got 2 on the way to that.
I think that our other supply centers should be maybe London and Cairo, just so that we can sort of, because if they have supply centers, then they get population.
I think that like London should definitely get a supply center.
And I feel like fortifying our expansion points is not a bad idea.
Yeah. You could do that. You could definitely. I mean, I think that there are probably ways if you laminate this whole thing and then like do.
What could we do?
No, I'm talking about making this replayable.
Ah,
Like, I think mostly it's like if you like laminate parts of this and then also
What are all these cards?
use
what's that?
Have you yet to?
wet erase
them in.
markers that
Yeah, I
don't
dropped
erase unless you like use a
Yeah.
spray for it. That could work for the lines and then erase it all. And then use like whether it's you can probably make a custom board of Pandemic Legacy Season 2
Oh, I'm sure you could.
that like would be replayable and reusable. So I think that would be the only way. You'd have to do
It's
it
called
custom.
whiteboard.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
Just sketch out like a.
Well, I mean, like instead of putting the stickers on the board itself, like put them onto like a Velcro thing and just like put them on there or something like that. Have a different way of attaching them. Do that kind of stuff. Have a cutout. Place it in there.
Yeah.
do some crazy shit.
One other thing that I think it's probably worth pointing out.
Yep.
As I already mentioned, at game end, the more cities we have connected to the grid, the more production units we have.
Mm-hmm.
I think no matter what else happens, win or lose, explore a new region or not, we should aim to add at least one new city to the grid every game.
I'd say Denver or San Francisco. Because
But here's the other thing,
they
too.
have two.
You can draw supply lines between cities that are already on the grid. So, like, we can draw a supply line from Jacksonville to Chicago if we felt like it was... Oh, no, it can't cross through Black
Magnet foil could be fun.
It can't cross through Black area.
Okay.
So we would have to do... Like, these would be our only means of ingress into the eastern or western United States. But, like, for example, Denver could connect to Atlanta and Chicago.
Right. I would
Denver
say
could connect to
if we're going
ours.
to connect one this round, I would say Denver, San Francisco, considering they have the two.
Right.
And if we
Yeah,
put them
for
on the
sure.
grid and they drop down.
It's not the worst thing ever. That's a fair point.
I think the problem with making Pandemic Legacy season either
Are we
season
going to
replayable,
Chawazi?
Yes.
that's a good idea. Is that I just feel like it's because of the story. I don't know if I'd want to have it replayable. I like the surprise. I like the it's I think a game like Time Stories for me that it's just like it's not really worth the replayability. Exactly. That's exactly my thought. And $13 or between 13 and 25 games for $60. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah. Especially when there's work put into it. It's not like your standard Pandemic, which is one thing. It's different scenarios. It's not playing 13 of the same exact game.
Yep, exactly. Like everyone is different. You're developing a story, and I think that's completely worth it to me anyway. So,
all right. So, without further ado, let's get started on Pandemic Legacy Season 2, February the 1st.
alrighty, Greg, you are up.
I've got 3 actions. I've got...
I agree with that for Time Stories.
Nothing...
100%. Like, I have a copy of Time Stories,
There's a zero
but
supplies. How does that even...
I'm looking for. I actually lent it over to a friend of mine recently so that they could play it. Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm going to take for free,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm thinking move,
I'm from Montgomery.
make, and place.
I'm from Montgomery.
Yep.
I'm from Montgomery.
Thank you.
So you're not
when
You're
you're
from
from
Providence.
So what do we think about take, move, make and place, move to Cairo? Although, no, Cairo's not even really that important. Maybe I just move back to Providence? Providence?
No, I think what you do is take, move, place in London because I can get to Tripoli,
Fair.
but I cannot get. Well, I can get to. Technically, I can get to London too.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same distance. So either way works for me.
Okay.
Do you have an extra action?
I'll go...
Well, if he makes before he places, he just gets an extra.
Alright, yeah, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4.
So actually, I guess it doesn't really make a difference.
You're talking about picking up in Montgomery?
No, I was thinking about because here it's just one movement, so you could have an extra make. Because this would be the same distance for me, but you would have an extra make on here.
Mm-hmm.
So that would just objectively be an extra cube. That would probably be better in
That's
general.
true. That's a good point.
So that's actually my thought now. Like, if
I can also go to London.
like whether it stays on your sheet or not. No, you should go towards Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You save your Jacksonville.
Well, but
Then Jacob can get to London.
I can get.
Although, then again, you can also get to Jacksonville.
yeah, you can get
Quicker.
to Jacksonville.
Oh, I can
quicker
get
than
to
I can.
Jackson. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're back to... Jesus. Pick up, which costs nothing. 1 action to move, 1 action to make, another action to make, and another action to place 2, not
Nice.
3.
Have you have you played through all of the
Is that your turn?
the stories and time
Yes,
stories so
unless
far?
we think...
We've gone up to what was the last? We did the Pharaoh's Tomb was the last time stories that we did, right?
yeah, Under the Mask. But
Under the Mask. Yeah, so that was the last one we did. I'm looking forward to playing the rest. I have them all.
yeah,
I
I'm
just
happy
haven't
with
gotten
that.
to play them. It's been a little while since I've gotten
Cool.
there.
I drew a
Population?
London and a resilient population, and then I infect
Mm-hmm.
New York and Istanbul.
Both down to 1.
Okay. William, go ahead.
Alrighty.
Okay, on that note, should I go to New York instead of London?
I still think London is more important.
I think London.
Supplier.
Supplier.
Yeah, there you go.
Alrighty, so I'm going to use action. Drop a supply on London.
So, yes, the Zaya expansion, I backed it because, of course, Kickstarter is one of our big things. One of my big things. And,
Should I
and yeah, I have the
use
the
my produce
expansion
supplies?
that they just came out with before. And now
So
I'm
pick
getting
up
the
in
mini
Montgomery,
expansion.
use produce supplies. You got 4 on hand. Move to New York, drop 2, and have 2 on hand.
So here's the thing. Now that we have several cities above population 3, producing supplies in the Havens is actually not optimal.
Really?
Because if you have a supply center in a city, that you produce up to that population.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, for example, Washington would be the best place
Right.
to produce.
Got it. Okay.
Washington is going to become the
Objectively.
production hub.
But is it better to just get it on hand to have these start redistributing these back?
I
and
do
forth?
think that it's more of a that's good because we're not going to get a supply center in Washington anytime soon. We've only got 3 cards. It's going to take us a while.
That's a fair point.
So I think that I still think that the production. I like your idea, using the production and picking it up.
And we still have
placing
that
in
one
London,
over there, and
placing
there's
in
more
New
in the
York.
deck.
Yeah.
And it's just like off the bat, that gives us an extra bunch. Anyways, so I'm gonna pick this up for free. I'm gonna
I think that they said
Produce
something about
supplies
there being
locally,
a German version of Zion.
spend an
on
action.
Kickstarter.
I'm gonna
But I'm
pick
not
up
sure.
all 3 of those, so I have 4 on hand.
Perfect.
I gotta remember that.
So that's 1 action. 2,
Oh, yeah. I
3.
think you can't get the base game with that whole thing. Like, I think you can pledge at a level that you can get everything for German.
Move to Washington in
Which is
preparation
awesome.
to explore inland.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm just trying to think if there's any benefit to me doing anything else. Should I move to Jacksonville? And I could. Well, I can't supply until my next turn though. So you could do transfer supplies too. Oh, you can only give. Never mind.
Yeah.
I could move you directly to New York and transfer supplies as a free action. Drop
Okay.
off my 2 to you.
You could.
Does that give any benefit?
I mean,
Otherwise-
he's got supplies that you can do stuff with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
works.
I see
So
no
I'll move
reason.
you to New York, and I'll transfer you those 2 supplies.
Yay! Transferring supplies. Supplies.
Because my supplier doesn't require me to have the supplies on hand.
Right. And what are your 2 draws?
Oh boy. Jacksonville. Lagos.
All right.
Alright.
Could you infect, Greg?
Mm-hmm. New York and London. Jesus Christ.
Well, good thing you did those 2.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Don't clap. I should know this.
Don't clap that loud. Like that was a legit. That wasn't like a half-assed clap. That was a good one.
That's how I normally clap.
Alright. So,
Interesting.
you
Alright.
gonna go to Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'll save it.
Duval.
So 1, I'm gonna do
Bortles.
the make and produce.
You should make me a Jacksonville soundboard for this game. It would be
refuse.
perfect. Bortles.
That would be the only one. And it would appear on a generic Dragon's Demise sound. Yeah, Autumn, that's a shame about Zaya. It is a really fun game,
Yeah.
but I would imagine there's a lot of localization that would have to go into it because it is fairly text heavy.
Yeah, especially all the events and that kind of stuff. Okay. So I did currently 2 actions. Should I just make more? and stay on Jacksonville so that we can trade. I can either take Jacksonville or give Jacksonville.
So yes, but also, if you make more, then on subsequent turns, you can spend supplies from yourself to expand to Atlanta.
I could. I forgot about that being an action.
I mean, I know we had said that Atlanta was a lower priority than Denver or San Francisco because of the lower population, but
I could do that right now. I have one here, and I have 2 actions left.
that's an option.
So I can go boom and connect Atlanta.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. Boom. Let me grab a ruler real quick. So that we have an actual straight
Woo!
line.
We have created our first new supply line, not counting Chicago, which I don't count because the game made that one for us. Okay.
Yeah, technically, and going from Jacksonville to Atlanta, you're going to have to go on I-10 a little bit over to I-75 junction about 10, 15 miles west of Lake City, and then you go north on the 75 until you reach Atlanta, and then Beltway and all that traffic.
I have no idea if you're telling the truth or not.
That is all the truth. Now, whether you could understand it,
Well, that's not a question. That's a flat no.
now the thing is, you keep going west on I-10, you go eventually hit Tallahassee, and that's a home in Florida State Seminole. Used to be coached by Jimbo Fisher, now it's coached by Willis Swaggart.
Okay, boom, Howard. All right, so Atlanta, there is only one Atlanta card,
Okay.
and it is searchable.
All right. So
Well, we don't get it
connected
though,
Atlanta.
until the next game.
Yes.
Correct. Unless we had a way to fish it out of the district.
All right. Well, that's my turn.
It also can't be infected until the next game,
Oh, that's also good.
which is worth noting. This is in the game end area. Not the discard
Oh,
area.
that's good. Okay.
Name the roads.
Name the roads. Oh man,
I-75.
that is a lot of commitment.
So
It's also like it requires us to actually use imagination.
does Jacob then go to I-75? Does Jacob then go to Atlanta, or does he still?
I
based
think
in
he's out of
Jacksonville?
actions.
Okay, so he's still based in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Correct.
I
Okay,
have
good,
found
'cause
the route to Atlanta
I can
without
trade-
going to Atlanta.
I can trade you Jacksonville.
Yes, that was my hope.
Oh, and we connected a new city to the grid.
Yes, we did.
Ew.
That was a little bit of a
Good
weak.
lord.
Jesus.
I felt I was dead. Ew.
Oh.
Okay. All right. It's not even waffle hour. All right. It's all right.
Oh, Boo Boo Kitty Fuck Highway is not well traveled, but it's well lined.
Boo boo kitty. It's certainly unique.
If we can name the road between Jacksonville and Atlanta, we're naming it just the entire song of the banjos from Deliverance.
Did you draw your cards already?
I did.
Okay. Did you infect already?
I did not.
Wow, Istanbul.
Not Constantinople now.
Okay, that had to have been delivered.
Yeah, that was
All right. And Sao Paulo.
that one was deliberate. My voice doesn't normally crack.
Only when in stressful situations.
Okay,
unfortunately
so
passed that phase.
I am up and running. How do we feel about my priorities here? Getting to Istanbul is
Istanbul.
probably an important idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have we had any Tripoli yet? We have, because I went there. We
Yes.
have, in fact, had 2 Tripoli. All right, so I'm not going to take from there.
We have 2 Tripoli and 2 Istanbul currently.
Move, make, drop.
That's my thought.
Ooh, no, here we go. All right. So it is suboptimal, but what if I moved, produced,
Lucio.
Mhm.
pick up, move, drop?
Sure.
Cool.
Suboptimal.
All right, so
Suboptimal.
bam, 3 supply cubes. I pick them all up, and then I move and put, what do we think, 2?
I'd just go full 3.
Go for 3? All right. Go for the full 3.
Yeah.
And that's my 4 actions. And then, oh no! I got
Warner or
ZD.
something. Oh, ZD. You got ZD on the cards! Yeah, we have to nuke that card.
Yep, we have to nuke New York. Nuke
No,
York.
it's not Jacksonville.
Nuke York.
I can't even with you. And then draw a card. Chicago. Okay, so I just got to get there and we can search it.
Yeah.
And then epidemic. Yeah, we were overdue for that.
Yep.
Increase.
Go.
What do we got?
Washington.
Washington.
3 cubes just wiped the fuck out.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got this is a big old stack.
Mm-hmm.
Use a forecasted event.
Our only 3s. London is our only triple. We've got a couple of doubles. We've got New York. Oh no, New York is also a 3. There's only 1 copy of Washington, so that's not actually that scary.
Yeah,
We could
Washington
resilient
should be-
population London,
That might be a really good idea.
because that makes it essentially a non-factor for most of the rest of the game.
And I think that we want it to be.
And I can drop 1 on London every turn, basically.
Okay. I will resilient population. London.
Yeah.
What is
So
London
remove
called?
2 copies.
It's like pointing out Jaguars played home game in London every year, so if Jacksonville goes tits up, we got London at least.
London is your backup.
London's our backup.
I'm sure they'll be happy to know that they are a secondary Jacksonville.
We're continuing on the American Revolution. It's time to take the fight to the Anglo Isles.
Right, so now
Everyone in Jacksonville lives about 225 years in the past, so may as well.
shots fired. My friend.
At least you know how to joke about it. You, not all of Jacksonville, just you.
Yeah. Like again, the entire reason I'm doing this, and anyone who's international might not know this, Jacksonville never gets mentioned in anything. I think it's like the 9th city down. Just take the top.
Oh, I was gonna say cut,
Oh, cut. Okay.
which you could just take the top if you wanted.
But Jacksonville almost never gets mentioned in any media.
Sao Paulo.
So this makes
And
me
London.
over the moon.
Okay, well that's good news because
Wait.
it does mean there were 3 copies. We only removed 2.
Oh,
Resilient population only removed 2.
Why would you want to move 1 copy of a specific city into the game ad?
Possibly if the only other copy in there was
Oh yeah, I guess so.
had an upgrade on it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my turn. William, go ahead.
Should I drop 1 on London? Just
Yes.
Yes.
keep it safe so it's out of
I mean,
mind.
it's not urgent because there's no way to trigger it unless we get an epidemic, but also better to do it now than forget about it and not have it
Yes.
later.
Asia looks fairly well, or like Eurasia, North Africa looks fairly well taken care of.
Mhm.
Do you want me to move you over to the New World?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so that's 2.
Move to Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah, I can't really make supplies to help Washington.
That's my. I'll do that next turn.
Okay. Cool.
Moved Jacksonville. Go on home back in Mandarin neighborhood, and hand over Jacksonville.
If I can get to you, I can give you Lagos. Depending on what you
Unless-
draw, we'll see.
Unless you want to collect, and I'll give you Jacksonville.
That's maybe a better idea
that's
because
probably-
you've got fewer
You've
cards.
got,
than he
yeah,
does.
he's got the ration event too,
Yeah.
and I don't. At
Okay.
least as of right now.
That's
So
an idea.
go ahead and draw.
Yeah, that was
That was 4 extra.
1, 2, 3. London. Yep.
Cairo,
All right. Double Cairo.
Istanbul.
All right. Well, I should have taken Jacksonville.
Yeah. I mean, we still got. We
Falls.
can. We can mess around with it.
I mean, just get it on Greg City.
Yeah.
Istanbul, Washington.
No.
God damn it! Why didn't we extend it forecast?
Because
Because we're good at this game.
Yes, because we're good at this game.
Good job, everybody.
So
Washington has seen an incident, which means it's going to be incredibly dangerous to be there now.
Well, that's why I'm not going to stay. All right.
We should, however, look to put a research station, or excuse me, a supply center there, so we can counteract population.
Yes, I agree.
So you can't stay there, though, right?
No. Yeah.
You should.
Is it ending turn or starting
It
turn?
is starting your turn.
Okay, so as long as William can get people out. It's the same thing as the dispatcher in the last game.
Washington is the new Jacksonville. That's right. Washington has become
Everywhere I go.
You bypassed it. You just were like, no.
It's like, nah, I'm not gonna go there.
I'm talking about IRL.
Ah,
True enough.
So I do think that we should put some there so that if it gets pulled again for whatever reason, we don't end up with more cubes. Because that would just be miserable.
Okay. So here's the reason that I can use my courier action.
Mm-hmm.
I can make 3 in on the third one, put 3 on there.
Perfect.
And that's 3 out of 4 actions. My 4th action, I'm just going to go to Vigneto, I think.
Okay. I like it. It's effective.
Unless.
Nope, never mind.
Okay.
Would it better be served by you moving to New York or no?
I think it's better to keep it spread out.
Well,
especially-
no.
If he moves to New York, he can't.
Okay,
take
so here's the
Washington,
thing,
that's
though.
fine.
What if
Mhm.
if you were willing to spend an action next turn getting him off,
Mhm.
what if you ended your turn in Washington so I could take Washington from you?
That puts him at 4.
Which
Yeah.
is pretty damn good. So, you just have to be able to get him off, which you can do. Get him off the tile.
Yes.
It's a good night.
Thank you.
Dragon's Demise.
After hours.
No,
This is what happens on the Friday night stream.
This is what happens when I've had a long day.
Oh boy.
Okay, cool. So, draw your 2 cards.
Alrighty. I was about to say, let's see if I get screwed, but I think that that's not the right thing to say at the moment. I said it anyway.
Funny thing to say.
I did get 2 Tripoli and a Sao Paulo.
Okay. And then we infect New York and Jesus Christ.
Oh, I didn't know that was a city.
Is a city now? Yeah, no, that's no. There we go. We just renamed one of the.
Never drinking board game.
This is 100% sober.
The funny part is, I am completely sober all the time, and I still do this kind of shit.
What do we need to do?
You need to save New York.
Okay, so I have a cube in reserve, so I will place, move, take.
Okay.
Washington.
And move with preparation to search Chicago.
So, place, move, take, move.
I think that's my play. Does anybody have any objections?
No.
I'm Groot! Pointing at bomb switch.
Nah.
Pretty much.
Okay, I think good. Sorry. Now I'm the one who's clapping.
Yep.
I'm the new William. Washington's the new Jacksonville, and I'm the new William. Increase. Infect. Sao Paulo.
Ooh boy.
We have a tiny deck.
Okay, I think that this is the calls for this one.
Yes. All right. So we have 2 Sao Paulos, 2 New Yorks, and 3 other cards.
And this lets us take 1 more from the top of the deck. Because this is 8.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, fuck it then.
Just take out the top card.
Take out the top card and now we get to order them whatever.
It's another New York. Jesus H. Christ. Okay. Well, the 3 cards on the bottom are going to be New Yorks. All of them.
D&D and a minute. Yeah, I'm actually the same way. I don't drink at all, but
Ooh,
I've
you know
played
what?
D&D with
We
some
can do
people who
this.
drink,
Okay,
and it's
so-
hilarious.
New York does have 1 card left. So the 2 bottoms will be New York, and then Sao Paulo will actually be under New York because we can get to New York faster.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's Sao Paulo. So on my turn, it's going to be whatever we put at the top, which I recommend to be actually New York and Washington, I think,
Okay.
so that we can remind ourselves to get. I mean, not that we need reminding, but we just get there. And then London and Istanbul, so that whoever goes to New York can go straight on to London.
I can drop in London.
Oh,
London's
perfect.
fine.
Right. Yeah, you've actually got your thing. And
I'm
then
thinking-
after that, it'll be New York again. And then after that, it'll be Sao Paulo, which gives us the maximum number of turns to get down to Sao Paulo.
Sure, Adam.
I think that's the way to go.
I'm 25, turning 26.
I'm 27.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
Baby face over here.
Yeah.
Well, baby person.
How about full of youth and vigor in comparison to the two dinosaurs?
Vigor? What are you, 85? No, what is it, spry?
I'm spry.
Call him spry.
Spry spring chicken over
Nobody
here.
under 60 has ever been described as spry. Okay, are we happy with the allocation of those cards?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
So draw 2.
What was my first one? I drew the
No,
epidemic.
I'm talking about. Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about me.
I don't think you drew a second.
I think
Your first
epidemic
one was an epidemic.
was my
Yeah.
first.
So
Yeah.
draw.
Draw one more. It was.
Weird. And yeah, British supplies. That's useful.
Sweet little chick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a whole decade. All right, so we infect New York and infect Washington. None of this is unexpected. Boop, boop. William, get to New York. Okay.
And get me the hell out of Washington.
Yeah. So I'm going up to New York. I'm gonna drop one in London.
You should move him to Jacksonville before you move. Over.
Yes.
Because
Rather
he's
than-
trying.
So I
He's,
can get to São Paulo.
he's going to get. To
Oh,
São
right.
Paulo.
Okay. Move you Jacksonville. Move up to New York.
Mhm.
Should I drop one in New York or drop one in London?
Definitely.
Because I can make and drop into New York. Or I can drop one into London and then have a free action.
Take one from Jacksonville when you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take two from Jacksonville. Drop them both in New York because
Okay.
we're going to have two New Yorks upcoming.
Okay.
And then use your ability for London.
Because that way you don't have to make.
Do we need to do London right away?
Yes, because London is next. Remember, we put it next because we knew you'd.
Yeah, but it has only one card in the deck.
Right, but if you didn't do this, it would get an incident.
It has 0 now. It's
Oh,
empty.
it's already been taken off. Okay. I didn't realize that one was already on there.
Yeah.
London has 0,
London has 0 currently?
Yes.
right? Did you?
When I didn't put any onto London.
I think there
Oh.
was 1. Yeah.
Well, in that case, we maybe don't need to do. Okay, so then instead of doing London, do you want to make and drop a third in New York?
That's what I'm
Either that
confident I can't do.
or do it like this and have 2 in there.
2 in Jacksonville,
That's
2 in New York.
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
that's better.
All right. I totally spaced. I thought that London was at 0.
Alrighty, so that's my turn.
Mm-hmm. Draw your cards.
I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to get rid of 2.
Get rid of the
Blues.
Blues, yeah.
Okay. Washington and London are gone. This also means I can't reinforce London remotely anymore.
Oh.
That's the one thing.
Maybe get rid of
I could get rid of one of my
Washington
Jacksonvilles.
and a yellow.
One of my yellow or one
Yeah.
of my Jacksonville.
Mm,
Jacksonville's
yeah.
will be easier to trade back to you is the thing.
Get rid of your Lagos since it hasn't been drawn yet.
Okay.
There you go. That's the idea.
Alright, cool.
And then infect.
In fact, Greg, if you would.
London, Istanbul.
So eventually, yeah. So my next turn, I'll reinforce London if one of y'all don't
Yep.
draw a friggin' epidemic.
Well, that's the big if, right? Right. 1, 2, 3,
4 and place. God dang, you're so good.
Yes.
Oh, you're the new quarantine expert. That's what's up.
I'm just like, oh.
Tris
right.
is kicking a lot of ass. And for
Courier
actually,
is carrying
can
messages
actually
to the
just
enemy.
for everyone on the stream, can you break it down exactly how
Yes.
that interaction
So
works?
so what happened was I did one move right there, and then I did a make supplies, and then on my third make supplies, I used my special action as the farmer, which once per turn when doing a make supplies action, I may immediately do a deliver supplies action for free. And that works with my courier, which when doing the deliver supplies action, I may put a supply cubes into one adjacent location instead of my current location. So,
Dungeon fighter. Yeah, we'll be sure to do that. Thanks for the
Yeah.
rec, Adam.
definitely. And yeah, that's how I did all that shit. So
Good deal.
that actually like makes me really good at Yeah, I
You can
only-
just.
I can bounce between those three and like Jacksonville.
Yeah, basically.
Doodle.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we draw some
Let's
cards?
see what we got. Tripoli.
Okay.
Triple
Wow.
Tripoli.
Yeah.
I have Tripoli,
But Tish,
and they produce supplies.
that's a good thing for you
Next
to have.
turn, if we really want to get the black up, I can use Tripoli to fly there or to boat there, and then I could just move him, and well, I'd only be able to take 2, but I'd be ready then next turn. But also, never mind.
We'll see what
we'll
happens
see,
by
we'll
next
see.
turn.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to search Chicago.
Well,
Yeah.
first we infect.
Right. Thank you. We infect New York and New York again.
Yeah, Farmer Courier is a
Oh.
fucking amazing combo.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so good.
oh.
We're extremely happy to have discovered that.
Yes.
Okay.
Protect me, God.
So, I'm gonna search Chicago with my first action. This is our first search action that we're getting to execute. This is our first new city that we've added to the grid.
What?
Protect me, Cone.
We're gonna take a
Oh,
look.
it's gonna be very impressive.
No.
Was it
There's
Red
no
versus
reason to
Blue
ever be
season
impressed with me about it.
8 reference?
Of what? Star Trek?
Red versus
No,
blue.
Red versus Blue.
I stopped watching after like season 3. I
I've
think.
never even watched a single episode of Red vs. Blue, so
Damn good show.
that's what I heard. Alright.
Confetti over here. All right, I'm actually gonna go tap this off into the trash, and then come back and read it
Alrighty.
because I don't want to get sparkle dust all over our new game.
Sparkle dust.
Well, Greg does that. While Greg goes and does that, let's tell you about our sponsors. We are sponsored by absolutely no one.
Yes, absolutely nobody. For those of you who don't know, absolutely nobody is, well, nothing. They do nothing, they see nothing, and they care about nothing.
I see nothing. I know nothing. I did not even get up this morning.
Stripper glitter.
Yeah, that is a Hogan's Heroes.
That's a different powder.
Oh man.
And
Yeah.
yeah, this is us sober. You know, this is just
A little sleep deprived, definitely ready
little.
for a weekend.
yeah. I think I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep right now.
Yeah, because you are the kind of person who has to watch Critical Role the
All right.
night it comes out.
I apologize for leaving you all at the mercy of these two things. All right, here we go.
Greg, don't go with that.
Having searched Chicago, survivors here are holding on despite supplies being gone for years. They told us how their haven in the Pacific stopped supply runs for unknown reasons. You may put up to 2 supply cubes into Chicago from the stockpile. Good lord.
Chicago supplied as fuck.
Yeah. So I think that I am leaning towards taking probably at least 3, if not more, of the supplies from there, and using 2 of them to establish a route to Denver.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
All right.
Very fair.
Takes care of that.
So
if
I'm going to take 3. Do we think I should take a 4th?
No, I think leave 2 just in case.
Okay. I'll take 3, and then I will spend 2, which is only my second action, on a supply route
Here's the ruler.
from Chicago to Denver.
Center to center. Note to self: get a better marker for myself.
I don't know. It's fine if you go back and forth a couple times. Which
Yeah,
I
no,
think
but
is-
like if we use a Sharpie, it'll most likely stay a little bit more.
So that
quickly,
is a
so you don't have
permanent
to worry about it.
objective, correct?
which this
Yeah.
I suspect.
Okay. I'm assuming because we drew it in pen.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh, the addition to the board is permanent.
Yes.
Whether or not this objective will never be destroyed,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Denver.
Well, I was just talking about that stays even if we fail the rest of this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
In
definitely.
the same way that reconning North America would have stayed if we completed that first half of January.
Denver. Okay, so Denver has 2 cards in there and 1 regular card and 1 search card.
There we go. That's nice. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so that was technically just my second action.
Yeah. I say.
If let's see.
No, you don't have enough actions for that. I was gonna say go to New York, but like take one more and go to New York, but you can't drop them.
Yeah, I can't drop them. I could go there, but
Yeah. Make the path with some glue and some glitter.
Hey, Glitter Highway, man!
Yeah,
I tell you, that'd be pretty exciting.
I mean that's what happens when we connect to San
We gotta
Francisco.
spark up. No, it's flowers. It's just a path of flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
No, sorry, LA. What am I saying? There is LA on the board. I didn't see it. I was just like, I thought that was somewhere in Mexico.
So help me out here. Help me decide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move.
Yeah.
Do I want to move to Jacksonville or New York? I think actually you've more or less got the entire southern half of the board covered.
I've got the southern half.
So
of the
I'm
board
gonna move to
covered.
New York.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I have to draw, and sadly I have 6 cards. But produce supplies.
Playing this, yeah.
And then,
There are certain games that if you play like on
Sao
LSD,
Paulo.
that could be very interesting.
I'm thinking I get rid of Sao Paulo.
I believe.
Or, no, Lagos.
No, Lagos.
Lagos.
Get rid of Lagos. And go from there. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Just so we know, we've already discarded
2
2
Lagos.
Lagos.
And we have 7 yellows remaining.
7 yellows?
Yeah.
All right.
3 of each Sao Paulo and Jacksonville, and
Oh, yeah, Jack.
1
yeah.
Lagos.
Yeah. Okay.
And remember, wasn't Jacksonville the one that we added the...
It counts as, no,
One of the
Lagos
foundations?
was the one that we
We
Oh,
added
so the other
the
Lagos was the one
last
that we
one.
added the
the
foundations to.
Fortitude, foundations, whatever it is.
That does mean, though, that we're not going to actually be able to recon.
Yeah. So actually, that might.
That's fine. We've got the other objective.
Okay.
We just need to, at this point, we need to recalibrate our focus towards supply centers.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we'll worry about reconning South America at a later time.
Well,
Let's
I'm
do it.
almost there. Whoa.
Whoa, living on a prayer. Okay, so that's me. I've drawn, I infect Sao Paulo and Sao Paulo.
Do we remember what comes next?
No, we don't know what comes next.
Okay.
Technically, we could know if we had paid attention to what was still in the deck when we. I think. Tripoli?
No, because we there's no way we could have.
Oh, that's right, because we had to add.
We had to add one
yeah.
from the thing. There's
You're
no
right.
there's no
We have
logicking out
No
of this.
idea, unless we remembered what happened after the first epidemic, which was
a little
so
bit
many
too
game
long.
states ago. You don't even know, bruh.
Exactly.
Bruh.
All right.
Bruh.
You did your draws. You did your infections onto me.
Yes.
Yes.
Supply London, supply New York.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Supply London, and then I can do 2 make supplies and drop. Where did that go?
What?
I swear I just like flicked one off into oblivion.
I don't think you did. I think the sound you heard was this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was just coincidentally happening at the same time as you were touching nose.
14 there. Sorry, I am going to count this up because
9,
this wouldn't
10,
be bad.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 18 on here.
So I did flick one.
Yes. Well, look for that one later. Just take one of these for now.
It would have gone that way because that's where my.
Like I said, we'll look for it later.
Okay, so I'm going to make 2 and drop them onto New York.
Okay.
That's going to be my turn. Or should I only drop 1 onto New York and move one of us to Vigneto?
I don't think that. No. I don't think so.
Okay. In that case,
Did you ever pick up that one from over there?
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. In that case,
One of them somewhere around.
Washington, and an epidemic.
Okay. We're up to 3 now.
And should I discard
Oy,
Washington?
oy, 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 oy.
Yes. Discard Washington. Oh.
Should I hold on to Washington? Because technically I drew this second.
So you
Or
don't.
no, I drew this first.
Oh, so then you would actually have to make a discard decision before you know.
I think I would have. I mean, we're talking about Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. No.
Washington.
We have nothing we can do.
Herbert.
Nope, nothing. We got nothing. Oh god, how many Washingtons do we have in that discard pile?
2 Washingtons, 2 New Yorks, 2 Sao Paulos, a London, Istanbul, and I think that's it.
Okay. Let's see how this works.
Just eliminated the supply queue.
Well, I mean, based on this, we're never gonna need it again.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of true.
Okay. And we're drawing 3.
We're fucked. I'm telling you this right now. New York, right?
Alright.
Oh, that's bad if it's 3 New Yorks.
Washington gets another infect.
Oh.
Sao Paulo.
Okay.
Jacob, do your magic.
Please.
Magic.
So Washington only goes down 1 population, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no matter how many plague cubes are there.
That's good.
Okay. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna produce supplies. So that gives me 3 on here. Pick up all 4. Do we have a limit on how many we can have on here?
Not unless you're scarred.
Okay, cool. So that's 1 action. Second action is going to be to go ahead and place these 3 on Sao Paulo. So that's 2.
Move Jacksonville, drop on Washington.
Yeah, I can either drop Washington or London. Which one would you like me to do?
Can you drop Washington? I thought
Yes.
Courier was once per turn.
Courier is not once per turn.
Should we drop it on New York? Because there's still 2 left in New York.
I
Yeah,
can
there's,
also-
there's only 1 New York left. There were only 2 in the discard pile.
Okay.
Wait, no shit, you're right. There were 3.
There were 3. And that would really fuck with the both of us.
Yeah, all right. New York is
Alright.
more important.
Move
Because
here.
scars are miserable.
And then, so that's, I have 1 action left, and with that action I will do that and that.
Because you didn't.
I did not do that before, I did just a regular distribute action.
Cool. Draw your 2 cards.
1 Quiet Night,
Useful.
Sao Paulo.
Okay. So the 2 of you need to work out who's going to actually plant.
I can come down to Jacksonville next turn and give you both Jacksonvilles.
It's an idea.
Yeah.
And drop 1 on the London.
We are infecting, unless
Yes.
we're 1 quiet nighting.
I don't think there's much we can
I mean, there's
do.
not. There were 3 New Yorks, but there were only 2 Washingtons.
Okay.
So.
And 1 Washington's already been drawn.
Right. So we can't outbreak.
Yeah.
So I think we skip 1 quiet night.
Okay.
Washington.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Sao Paulo. New York.
Oh boy.
Isn't that the exact same spread we got? It is.
Oh boy.
Symmetry.
Same thing.
I see parallels between things and other things.
It's so scary.
Okay, Luigi.
Alright.
I want to
Greg.
go away. Buongiorno. Arrivederci.
I'm so confused.
Arrivederci.
Oh, God.
Alright, we need to engineer a situation where I actually get a 5th fucking blue card. Because
Yes.
I can't draw them to save my life. And I need to get these out of my hands. So here's what we're going to do.
Mhm.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3. No,
Yeah.
sorry. 2.
Mhm. Yep.
Non-action. 3. Non-action. And then...
How does your transfer work? Or how does transfer work?
You give supply cubes to another person.
In your location. Okay.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to go here, and then as a free action, I'm going to give you 3 out of these 7 supply cubes.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And drawing cards. Istanbul.
Come on, blue. No.
Yep.
Fucking double Istanbul.
I'd just like to point out, I think that's all the black cards out.
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. All the black cards are in our hands.
I need to stop touching these cubes.
For real, dude. What the fuck are you even doing?
You found it? Find it?
It's somewhere. I dropped it right onto my lap. So.
Hey, William.
Yep.
Do you want to move us both to London? Good job.
It stayed on your lap.
Do you want to move us both to London and give it to me so that I can stop this fucking bullshit and actually put a goddamn thing in London?
Well, it's that, or I move to Jacksonville and give.
We should probably move to Washington, actually. Because we are going to start getting... Because we're moving at a 3 pace instead of a 2 pace, we're going to start getting into new territory and the possibility of new Washington cards relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, so London's still not that much of an issue, so I don't think I need to drop one there.
I don't think you do.
What I am thinking, though, is I move to Washington, I drop 2 or 3, I move to Jacksonville and give you 1.
No. You go to Jacksonville and give me cards.
Yeah, but
Actually, yeah, no, he's right. No, I'm thinking about it because we've got at least one more turn.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we go. You move to Jacksonville, transfer as a free action so that he's got a bunch of cubes that he can just drop onto Washington on his turn.
That's a good point.
And then trade.
Yeah.
And also on his turn, he can make a supply center.
Okay.
Yeah, I can make one in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Which will counteract some of that population loss.
Yeah.
Move to Jacksonville.
So you're going to bump up against your cap. Do you want to use one Quiet Night? It's not urgent, but it saves you from having to discard something.
True.
And I think all the black cards that we can play are out. Okay.
Right. So you want to use one Quiet Night and then discard a Tripoli?
Yeah.
After he gives you the
Christian,
second
I think
Jackson?
there's 1 Cairo left over, but still.
Yeah. All right.
So I transfer these to you.
Yep.
Free action. I give you these 2 for 2
Two
turns.
actions. Get rid of one of my Tripolis.
Is that all of my stuff?
Move transfer
2
was
transfers.
free, so you have one action
and
left.
2 of
I
those.
think.
I can drop one onto London, or
maybe
I can just
Istanbul?
I can drop one onto Istanbul.
I would say drop one onto Istanbul.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay. Cool. Also, we got if Washington outbreaks, we're fucked.
Yeah, but he can fix that as soon as his next turn starts.
Yes.
So draw your 2 cards.
Jacksonville. Washington.
So I'm realizing something. There are more than 3 copies of each card.
Probably.
Because we had talked and we had worked out the math that there were no more yellow cards. We were patently wrong. So.
Well,
we'll calculate
we'll deal
stuff
with it.
later.
We'll deal with it later. The math is not
just because
important.
I am looking through it. This is the 3rd Jacksonville card.
Well, right, but there's also 4 Tripolis. You have 2, you have 1, and there's 1 in the discard pile.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, the infection phase is skipped because Jacob used 1 Quiet Night,
Yes.
so that he wouldn't have to discard a second Tripoli.
Right.
And now we move into Jacob's turn.
Yep.
Washington and Research Center.
So, first action is to deliver supplies to Washington.
Yeah.
Second action, build a research center.
Yeah. Or a supply center.
Supply center.
Do.
Then
Would you be willing to move to Washington so that I could get? Oh shit! No, that's William.
that's not me.
I know how players work, guys. I'm super good at games.
I could.
Number 1 games, NA.
I can move towards Tripoli. I can get to Providence.
Yeah, I think because that's where we're gonna have to drop the 3rd. I'm thinking in Cairo.
Or I could get immediately to Tripoli by using one of my cards because we only need one of the.
I could
Tripolis.
transfer there and pick up the Tripoli.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, man. Yeah, English, the lingua franca, it's gonna be what people default to.
That's so ironic. Lingua
Yeah.
franca
Isn't it, though?
is English.
So
yeah,
I
I think. I mean, screw it. Yeah.
that.
Nyum.
And you'll
And then
you can take this on your turn.
Yep.
And build that.
Was that all four of your actions?
I distributed.
Yeah.
Or actually, technically, I should have this because if I'm not doing it, it would be a make and distribute at the same time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's more efficient that way.
Yeah.
So make, distribute, do the research center,
Triple.
move to Tripoli. Or,
So you got one left.
is that an action even? Yeah, it is.
So drop it on Cairo, or
I
make
was
it
gonna
drop-
say pick
or,
stuff
you can't
up
make it drop.
Oh, actually, drop on Cairo or
Yeah.
pick stuff up from Tripoli.
No, I'm going to drop on Cairo.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, I could take from Tripoli and drop, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I think this is better.
Also, I can still move people around because I have the Jacksonville card that's basically useless. So
That's a good
I
point.
could use that to charter instead of using my action.
That's true.
Well, charter is an action anyway, right?
Well, yeah, but instead of using my special action. So if Greg goes into somewhere, I can move him around.
Yeah, true. That's true. That's true.
Interesting.
Oh, I get to draw. Well, academic.
Fuck.
It's at the bottom
Good thing we've got some reinforcements on Washington and New York.
until they get wiped out.
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
We've got
That's-
some Sao Paulos in the thing.
We've got all
Sorry,
Three
Pedro.
Sao Paulos in the thing.
Sorry, Pedro.
Holy.
And Washingtons and New Yorks. Oh, we better. hope
Great.
it's
There's
not New York.
a reasonable chance that I just get fucked.
There's not a holy chance. I mean.
You should still be alright, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, because German, like, that was sort of the epicenter of board games.
Alright.
The issue on the table is that it's hard to find German language board games. And yeah, I mean, for a long time, Germany was, like, where, you know, higher level board games were made.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really shifted, especially with the Kickstarter trend. I think even up until, you know, the mid 2000s, it was still.
But I
still
think
pretty
Adam
heavily
also
German.
meant, like, in general, that the German was on its way to becoming a lingua franca in general. For the world.
Oh, you mean for the okay? Yeah. Well, that's that's probably true.
Alright.
Okay. Well, let's see what
yeah.
finish your draw.
No, we finish everything and then I draw.
Till America.
This doesn't
Two-time
happen.
world champions.
We in fact we intensify is the last thing.
Yeah.
And I do my second draw from here afterwards, after we resolve this entire card.
No, we just intensified.
Oh,
That is the entirety of the
Gotcha.
intensify mechanic.
New York. Cool.
Cool. Speaking of
One.
Washington.
Okay, so you're safe.
Fuck. God damn it.
Mm. Oh,
Sorry, it could have been worse. Yeah, if it would have been 3 New Yorks, that would have been much worse.
you know.
Somebody give me a fucking blue card.
I mean,
Can you use your action to take, if you go down to Jacksonville, you can take Washington or
No,
London from
I
me?
can give a player.
Fuck.
no. What's going to happen is you're going to get New York on my turn.
Yeah?
I think so. As long as you're around New York.
And what was the point of you going to Tripoli?
So I can give him Tripoli.
Yeah, I get Tripoli. I
okay.
use
He gets
Jacksonville to fly
so
to Tripoli. I move you, Jacob to
Gotcha.
there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, like, you don't even have to move me that much, but yeah. Either way works. You keep New York safe.
Yeah.
Keep New York safe.
Okay, Peter Parker.
I just really want to save Sao Paulo.
You know, too.
I have no idea what the hell to do.
Well, I'm going to deliver 2 cubes to New York.
Oh shit, Sao Paulo's gonna suck. Well, it's not
I mean, as long as we don't epidemic again,
yeah,
it's not actually going to outbreak.
yeah,
Which means it's only going to lose 1 population.
yeah.
Fuck it. I disperse and then I make. I think.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could do. I don't really think there is.
Ideally, we end this game on your next turn.
Yes, in a perfect situation.
So we're not going to end it on you next time.
Produce supplies. London. Okay, well I've got my blue card, which liberates us a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I don't care about this anymore, and I don't care about.
You don't care about those.
this.
Yep. So pretty much,
All right.
this frees me up to do damage control. Pretty much.
Yes, it does, which is great because that's what you're
Getting
really good
worse.
at.
Yes.
Washington, Lincoln, New York, and Sao Paulo. Hey, look at that again. See, this actually isn't bad. Like once there's one cube, it doesn't matter if there's 3 cubes.
True. We just have to make sure that there aren't 4.
Yeah.
So,
William.
Yeah, I actually, Adam, there's actually at least one board game
I'm
on
thinking
my
of
collection
using this
that I
as
had
my
to get
charter
from
flight because
Europe
that way I can
specifically.
maintain. Jacob, would you rather be in New York at the end of the turn? Because this area is fairly well covered.
No, I think he wants to be down here.
Yeah, I want to go south, so
Okay.
yeah.
Nope.
Well, it's just as distant between New York and Jacksonville, or in New York and
3, 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yeah, they're the same. So it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I think it would rather be in Tripoli.
okay. In that case, you don't
Less of a
you
chance
don't
of
want to be
outbreak.
moved at all.
Nope.
Okay, in that case, I'll just use Jacksonville, or I won't use Jacksonville.
I mean, I do. I
I've
want
really
to
used
put
Jackson
stuff in
because that way
Washington,
I
but I
need
don't
to
want to
get
start
rid
my
of
turn there. Obviously.
Okay. Here I will take Tripoli.
Yes, take Tripoli.
So that's second action. Third action, build the research station.
Do you want to move to Cairo? I would rather we fortify Cairo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then move to Cairo
Mhm.
and build,
Build
the
the
research
research
station. That's my turn.
Cool.
Cool. Is that
Uh,
4?
if I build it in Tripoli, I can
Yeah.
put an extra cube on Washington. If we have any concern about that.
I'm not.
Okay.
Should be fine. Alright. Draw.
Draw.
Draw
Nice.
well.
Jacksonville, fourth Jacksonville, and Chicago.
Oh, I was saying that I have some games in my collection that I actually
Is this a
have gotten, or
special
pretty much
feature?
had to get in Europe.
It's got a
Like,
tiny
there's
little
one,
print on
Star
it
Wars
on the
Carcassonne
left.
didn't come out in the States. It is still in English, so I don't have any pure German games just because I haven't,
I mean, here.
I don't know German well enough.
Yeah.
That's just the card
But,
ID.
um,
It tells you if you ever have to reassemble the deck. It tells
Okay.
you where to put it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But yeah.
Because that came out of
yeah.
this.
Package one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Then that's that, and so we infect
Sao Paulo,
Sao Paulo,
New York,
New York,
and Washington. Oh, Istanbul.
Istanbul.
Breaking the mold.
So
Alright.
save Istanbul, or yeah, because
I mean, putting stuff on Sao Paulo. in
yeah,
case-
that's what I
Just in
meant. That's what I
case
meant.
is
That's what I
worth
meant.
Casey
Yeah.
epidemics.
Save Sao
One.
Paulo is what I meant.
2,
It's been a long day
3, 4.
saving the world.
That is what I got.
Cool.
New York.
Yes, yes, it does.
Good. Produce supplies.
Clutch. All right, cool.
Alrighty.
So,
Mm-hmm.
my turn.
Yes.
Is there anything that we wanted to do before I end the game?
No.
Cool. Boop. Boop.
End it! Because there's nothing else that could give us extra points or anything like that.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
We won 2 in a row!
We won 2 in a row.
And
Holy
so that
shit!
means we get
Honestly,
funding of 2 next
losing
time.
one population on Sao Paulo is not the
All
worst,
right. Game end
Yeah.
stuff.
especially because we balanced it with Jacksonville.
Adjust population. All right. Nothing happens in Washington, so we need a 3 and a 3 and a 4.
Jacksonville's back to normal. The
Okay.
prophecy has been fulfilled.
So 2
Wait, was
threes,
Jacksonville ever normal?
2 3s and a 4. If you would, Cliff. Let's get some
3
chef.
for Sao Paulo.
We are paused, so we actually do get some new legacies.
I've got a 4. 4 goes on to Cairo.
Yes.
Mhm.
4 goes to Cairo.
And then the other 3 goes on to Jacksonville. That. Jacksonville's back to quote unquote normal. Alrighty. What other cool shit we got? Alright.
Draw this card and read the other side during step 2 at the end of your first game in February. Open the following door, 34.
34. Alright, let's see. What do we got for door number 34?
New ration events.
We only get 2 next round.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Game end upgrades. Permanent supply centers.
Okay.
Each
Put
one
a
costs
permanent-
3.
Yep. Put a permanent supply center sticker next to a city that has a supply center in the just played game. During the setup, add a supply center to each city with a permanent supply center sticker. Permanent supply centers do not count towards objective to build new supply centers.
Right. But they do presumably still increase population.
I believe so.
Cool.
And also, they give you give us the benefit from the production. Produces supplies.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. Absolutely.
Right?
Unfortunately, I don't really think maybe Cairo, but honestly, I don't think a lot of these, because I think we want them to be as far away from our havens as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to put one in, like, Denver, ideally, because of this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Denver could connect to literally all 5 of these cities.
Yep.
So Denver would be ideal, maybe Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But before we even worry about that,
Yeah.
let us look at the other 3 new events.
Yeah.
Extended time. The current player gains 3 actions.
Yeah.
It worked the first time. Take 1 rationed event card from the discard pile and play it immediately. Or, my favorite, hidden stockpile. Take up to 6 supply cubes from the reserve and add them to a location containing a player pawn.
We're gonna need to find those that one.
Yeah, we're gonna need to find that one. It went somewhere. I feel
Yeah.
like it went somewhere to that half of the board.
We'll find it. We'll find it
We'll
after
find
stream.
Yeah. So those are the new ration events that we have.
Yeah.
Resolve cards in the game end area. So Denver and Atlanta get added to the deck. We did not lose 4 games in a row, and we don't have any cities with 0 population. So good
We're
job,
fine.
Uncle Jin. Spend production units. There are 15 cities connected to the grid, which means we get 4 plus 1. We have 5 to spend again. Nothing desperately needs population. We could maybe think about giving it, but
Why
Let's
do
talk
we have
about-
5 to spend again?
because we got 4 and we won.
Oh, okay.
It's 11 to 16.
We're in the same tier.
Yeah, we're in the same bracket.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's look at these here. Character upgrades that were too expensive last time. I mean, Architect, you may do the build supply center action with 1 fewer card. That's pretty great.
That is pretty awesome.
Helmsman, you get a free drive ferry action each turn. Good for
Useful
you.
for him.
Extra mobility gets
that
you
would
around
be-
the map to do triage.
That could be very, very useful. For me.
Coordinator as a free action, move a pawn to your location if it is in an adjacent action. So a more limited version of your thing.
Yeah.
Broker as an action, discard a city card to take a card of the same color from the player discard pile.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. Runner, record keeper.
That could be good for Foundation.
Infrastructure is just a better version of Foundations that we could think about adding to stuff.
What is that?
This card counts as 3 cards of its color for the build supply center action.
How much does that cost?
That costs 2 instead of 1. So that's an option. Where did the new upgrades end up?
New upgrades. What? These.
Here.
It's just
so-
perfect.
oh, it's
Just,
just,
just those. Yeah. So I mean, like, we could do a permanent
I don't-
Cairo
yeah, permanent Cairo. Permanent.
and just have Cairo as a stronghold, especially with all this stuff coming out.
See, this is actually really interesting. So I was observing this.
Mm-hmm.
So North America and South America can be explored with 4 of any particular color.
Yeah.
This means that the cities that you explore them with, the cards need to be unique.
Yes.
Which means there need to be at least that many cities
Yep.
of that color on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it is technically impossible for us to explore London and Lagos with the revealed stuff we have now, provided we connect all of this to the grid.
No, we can
London,
reveal
we can.
London. That's blue cards.
Yeah, we can
1, 2,
reveal
3,
London.
4, 5,
Although we
6.
couldn't have revealed London until
Yes.
we
Yeah,
added Chicago.
Exactly.
But we could technically reveal London. But we can't reveal Cairo until we explore, presumably, Lagos. Because there are only 3 black.
Yeah.
Or London.
Unless
London adds...
I'm assuming London
It
leads
could
to
add-
black, which leads to yellow. Or
No, I think that yellow is.
I think, honestly, I think this is just intended to be the last place you explore, so I think it's a pincer.
right.
Actually, I think that this is closer to the last
That seems like the most.
because you need to
Well,
have
but see,
5 unique.
But here's the
yellows.
thing, though. We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and South America's going to add a bunch.
True.
At least 3, probably more
Yeah,
than 4.
yeah, I could see that. I think that there's a very interesting specific order.
It's
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily that you have to follow it,
Yeah,
but they definitely craft the game in such a way that you're more likely to explore along certain paths.
yeah, for sure.
Which is always interesting to me in terms of like how people like
Yeah.
manipulate the flow of a game.
So,
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So-
do we want a permanent Cairo?
I could go either way. I think it's not a bad idea, especially if we consider it sort of a gateway to the east.
So if
Isles of Terror. I haven't seen that one.
we
I'll have to take a look.
permanent Cairo, then we could do helmsman or architect would be off the board.
Right.
We could do infrastructure, or we could do 2 well stocks, or we could do 2 foundations.
So I feel like, I mean, what upgrade would help you, your character? What upgrade would help Vix?
I was
Would
kind of
anything
thinking
help
about
Vix?
that. Nothing really.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything that would really help.
I mean, records keeper combined with instructor, because that means you have an extra stockpile of cards you could give. To
I would say
Yeah.
record keeper would be
Others.
the most valuable thing for me.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to do maybe record keeper, foundations, and a permanent supply center in Cairo.
Or supply centers are cost 3.
Yeah, we have 5. Foundations
Record-
only cost 1.
Oh,
and
both of
records
them.
keepers
And
one.
records
Oh.
keeper is also 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very valid. That's very valid. I think. I could go for that.
All right. Well, shall we lock it in?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. All right, so I will take record keeper. If we want to pick something to put foundations on, I suggest anything other than a yellow card.
Yes. I would say blue.
Yeah, just because we got more blues
We've
right
got
now.
a lot of blues. No.
No,
Then
then black.
why would we want blue?
Right, okay.
Let's do black.
Is there any?
Where does the sticker go for the permanent supply center? Right next to it. I guess?
Yeah, presumably.
Like for other things, they have like specific spaces. All right. Let's see. Just like that. Cool. So we now have a permanent Cairo. We have Greg with more hand size, which is nice.
I'm going to go ahead and mark this off here.
Yeah. They have completed February. There are no, if you win this month, things happen. In this month.
Not yet.
Yet. Well, that was just like something that happened every
I thought
month.
it didn't start until like April.
No.
It was every month?
It was every month from January, if I remember correctly. It was every month.
The black cards underneath. This.
All right. Well, there we go. We have finished 2 months in a row. We finished January and February from Pandemic Season 2. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. We love the engagement. The engagement.
It's a nightmare
you know,
tonight.
hopefully we'll get around to playing the characters that you named at some point in the future. Hopefully you'll be back. I think the plan is to play this every other Friday.
Yes.
So
If it
look for
works out.
us. What's the
The next time we are planning on playing Pandemic Legacy is on March 2nd.
So yeah, hopefully you'll join us then, and tune in for the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z, by which I of course mean Pandemic Legacy Season 2,
Yeah.
and the continuing adventures of Vix, Triss, and Caleb.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and thank you guys. I really appreciated having some new people, new faces in the chat. So we hope to see you later on. Don't forget to follow us if you're interested. And
Yeah, we do streams every Wednesday. We're trying to do a serialized
Yes.
of it.
Yeah.
So we'll do series of different streams. I think we're kicking off
Yeah.
Voyage of the Beagle.
yeah,
next week?
Voyage of the Beagle is going to be next week. Robinson Crusoe.
Yep. And
GG.
next Saturday it will be the kickoff of the Starfinder campaign.
Yes, next Saturday is going to be
Just to
that's going to be during
broadcast
the day.
everything that you're doing so that
Yeah.
people turn in.
Yeah, we don't have a time for the Starfinder campaign, but that is going to be on Saturday.
Probably afternoonish.
So probably afternoon, early afternoon
Yeah.
Eastern time, so U.S. time, probably around 2 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah,
thank you all very much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.